everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bull Energy Loose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
That's great to hear. That's really great to hear. God is great. I'm open about my faith as well. He gives everybody a chance, even the people you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I'm not, a lot of people are very, Bible thumping that, got to beat the Bible, got to do this, got to do that. And I'm not typically that way. I'm typically I kind of wait for God to say, open the door. And a lot of times, I'll be working with a kid and they won't have any kind of relationship with God, or they'll be in a questioning mode. And I was like, it's okay, you're allowed to question. That God wants you to go through that discernment process, and we're all on a different journey, and that's okay too. So, that's important for each person to go through that, when they're ready in their own time, you know.
Yeah, for sure. When that woman at the church helped you and you decided you weren't going to be held back by labels or victimhood, did you know from then on that you were on your way to success, or did it take time?
I think it really took time. I think in my photography career, it wasn't until I was asked to help photograph the first book for girls in Boy Scouting that moment that I was just a mom sitting on the sidelines, but I knew things. And I knew things about Boy Scouting because my son had been an Eagle Scout, my dad had been an Eagle Scout, and I knew things about photography. So I was in a position where I could simply help set up equipment, line up the scouts, prep the next thing. And it was one of those moments that the photographer said to this other guy, "What does this woman know that I don't know?" And I it 6 weeks later, I'm at a pageant taking extensions out of my daughter's hair, and he says, "I need you to get on a plane and come to Dallas." I'm like, "I am not in San Antonio." He says, "That's okay. I'll fly you from wherever you're at." And I was like, "No, no, no, no. You don't understand. I'm in Houston with two kids and a car that they can't drive." He said, "Great. So I'll meet you in San Antonio." And it happened that fast. It was like, I was like, "You're hired." I'm like, "I'm hired for what?"
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia, saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.